Greetings all! Today, we'll be examining the relatively uncommon water-type Pokemon Clauncher, the Water Gun Pokémon, and its relatively rare evolution Clawitzer, the Howitzer Pokémon. Though the forms might look a bit lopsided, there is no denying that the members of the Clauncher family are powerful creatures that can readily blow away anything in the path of their armament.
Clauncher have bright blue and black segmented bodies, with a small pair of black tails on the posterior end, yellow eyes with pinprick black centers, barbed feeding appendages on the front of their body, and a pair of yellow antennae that flow towards the back from their forehead. Their left claw is rather small and rarely used, while the right claw is much larger than the left one, with a yellow lower segment and a yellow patch of filter tissue in the very back that is used to inject oxygen into the center of the claw for activating reactions internally needed to fire their projectile attacks. Their evolved form, Clawitzer, have a similar body color pattern with a band of dark material that stretches across its face and eyes, while their antennae have moved from the face to the right arm, with spiny nubs on their head plate and longer feeding appendages on their face. Their right claw is enlarged to an even more immense degree compared to Clauncher, with a series of barbs on both the upper and lower parts of the claw, and a total of 4 plated segments comprising the right appendage, flanked on each side by large black spines pointing backwards.
The members of the Clauncher family are closely related to Pokemon like the members of the Krabby, Corphish, and Crabrawler families, and share many anatomical similarities, but they are nonetheless distinct enough to be considered a separate class of fighters all on their own.
In the case of the aforementioned families, much of their power comes not in the form of special, but physical strength, able to use attacks like Vice Grip and Crab Hammer to smash the opposition into the ground before they can mount a strong counterattack. The members of the Clauncher family, however, while being able to use a number of both physical and special attacks, are unable to use their physical offenses in a similar way in battle. Unlike their contemporaries, these creatures do not possess a flexible shell that can easily store momentum before being used to deliver a crushing physical blow, or otherwise withstand large amounts of friction from constant rough use. Moreover, their outer shell is not quite as strong as that of Pokemon like Krabby or Corphish, so they cannot risk direct confrontation at a young age, lest they risk damaging this already weak armor plating.
Indeed, these creatures have gone the way of traditional water-type Pokemon and are better suited for long-range confrontations.
While other crustaceans have to use their mouths to deliver special attacks, Clauncher and their evolved form Clawitzer have developed a special firing system that allows them to attack with their pinchers instead. Inside their right pincher, these beasts have developed a pressurized organic cannon that can store large volumes of water within the back of the appendage near where it attaches to the main body. Just behind this is a large, air-filled organ that takes air from the respiratory system and stores it under high pressure. When these beasts feel the need to, a special valve just in front of this organ can be opened, as a primer is used to ignite the oxygen in the air, allowing the pressurized air to detonate and to try and escape. Since there is a large amount of water in its way though, it ends up propelling the liquid in turn, allowing these shrimp to fire compressed bursts of water to deal damage. This powerful offensive system is so effective at amplifying the impact of their projectile attacks that it has granted them an extremely unique and powerful ability, the Mega Launcher ability, which only they and Mega Blastoise have access to, that increases the damaging power and effects of pulse or aura-based moves. This makes these otherwise unassuming beasts a nightmare to deal with in battle, and can more than make opponents think twice about staying far away from them. As far as the stats are concerned though, in the case of Clawitzer, these crustaceans are not the fastest or sturdiest of beasts, and the bodies can provide a long way of protection, so most of the base stats are below average for fully evolved water-type Pokemon. However, they can at least take special hits fairly well, and are able to blast their special attacks out with notable force, the base special attack and special defense stats being above average for a fully evolved Pokemon of their type, in turn rendering them dangerous sharpshooters to confront, especially if their ability comes into play.
While they are considered to be fairly weak before evolution, Clauncher are still deceptively powerful beasts that can more than prove to be expert marksmen in battle.
The special pressurized firing system in the right pincer enables these beasts to shoot down just about anything, even a passing bird, with a burst of water strong enough to hit a target with the force of a bullet. In fact, they can spray bursts of water with so much force that they can effectively shatter small rocks at close range, in turn making them more than a bit intimidating even to the strongest of rock types. They will often use this same power as a source of locomotion, jetting water from the right pincher to blast across the water at high speeds. Unfortunately, they have a poor sense of balance in their current state, so they are generally quite terrible at swimming straight.
Moreover, unlike their evolved form Clauncher, are still unable to make the best use of their attacks until fairly late in life, not even learning the Water Pulse attack, one of the few that works in conjunction with their Mega Launcher ability, until nearly at the point of evolution.
It is further noted that their weaker overall powers makes them easy prey for humans, as they are often captured by trawlers in the Kalos region, so they can be fried up and eaten just like any other type of seafood. The right pincher in particular is prized for the delicious taste of the meat inside, though they do not always have to be killed for the claw meat, as it occasionally falls off during molting cycles and in battles, leaving the former owners to hide until a new one grows back, but otherwise remain still very much alive. In their current state, these small beasts are unable to do much about this, but once they evolve into Clawitzer, they will develop a nasty toxin in their skin that will make their meat relatively toxic. Until then though, these creatures will usually choose to remain at the bottom of their aquatic habitats and out of harm's way, waiting for evolution to make them a force to be reckoned with.
When Clauncher finally reach the point in their lives where they can actually evolve, the genetics take a turn for the bizarre and transform them into the closest example of an abomination a crustacean Pokémon could probably become.
While the majority of their body only grows to a moderate size as they reach sexual maturity, the right pincher of the species is horribly mutated upon evolving, becoming a gigantic cannon capable of blasting apart just about anything that gets in its way. In terms of offense, this addition seems to be the attempt of the species to preserve its own kind, as the organic weapon systems of Clauncher are still relatively weak and not completely up to par with dealing with some of the more powerful predators of the family, including humans. Nonetheless, the massive claw that they now end up with is still more than a bit on the side of overkill, to say the least. Unlike with Clauncher, both the water storage tank and the organ that contains pressurized air are in the pincher itself, and therefore outside the main body, the larger size denoting that both components of its offensive system have increased dramatically in size and volume. When fully charged and ready to fire, and once they have used the feelers on their arm to detect where their target is precisely, this massive arm cannon can fire a cannonball-sized blast of seawater strong enough to plow straight through a thick sheet of iron and even a tanker hull without any trouble. Moreover, for reasons that are still being studied, it seems that the radical mutation that causes this oversized pincher to develop also enables these beasts to make full use of their Mega Launcher ability, as they gain the capacity to learn the Heal Pulse, Dark Pulse, and Dragon Pulse moves on top of their Water Pulse and Aura Sphere attacks. In addition, these beasts receive a significant development in their special powers, as the base special attack stat nearly doubles in evolution. Despite all of this, however, this massive claw makes it very difficult for these creatures to be mobile in battle, and has been known to fall off from wear and tear after some time, making for a terrible cooking ingredient. If they do find themselves in a bit of a jam though, they can alter the way in which the arm cannon fires to turn its projectiles into a steady stream of water, which can then propel these monsters in the water up to a speed of 60 knots. Thankfully, these monster shrimp are often rather benign creatures, and mainly feed on algae and krill for survival, but the sheer destructive power they are capable of nonetheless makes them a serious threat worth noting in battle.
I can understand why some would love to get their hands on one of these creatures, if only for their striking, gorgeous body color. But you'd be an idiot to try and just pick them out of a body of water. While they might not have a lot going for them in the way of physical might, that hardly matters in practice with the sheer amount of special offense they have at their disposal. At a young age, a squirt of water for them can destroy stone, and as adults, even thick armored hides can be penetrated by their massive projectiles, rendering them a severe threat to armored and unarmored foes alike. And they really don't need much to unleash that kind of offense on others either. A little bit of water, and they can be downing opponents left and right with little trouble. Attacking their offending appendages might be enough to deter them at a young age, but the claws of their evolved form are heavily armored to protect against any sort of direct assault, so you might be out of luck there. Ultimately, whether you can put up with their limited mobility or not can be a deciding factor, but with such a rare and powerful ability like Mega Launcher at their side, if you've got distance between you and a target, these beasts can more than just pick them off at a distance, and hopefully keep their comparatively small bodies safe from harm.
While they might look too beautiful for some to be seen as a danger, the members of the Clauncher family are certainly still beasts that prove that size can matter even when physical power isn't the name of the game. It may take them a while for these creatures to reach adulthood, but when they do, you can be sure that nothing within their view will be safe from getting cannonballed into oblivion from afar.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure to give them a chance to practice their firing at something safer than an actual person or Pokemon. They might be incredibly powerful in this regard, But if their aim is off even just a bit, there's always the risk that they might hit the wrong target and end up dealing gruesome damage to someone that's just there to see these sharpshooters at their finest.
Thank you all for watching this video. It is always a pleasure to help teach others about the world of Pokemon and the many facets of it that exist in both the world we call home and the world they call home. If you'd like, please leave a comment and subscribe and ring the bell to this channel to get regular updates on content and anything else that might be going on. You can find me and my written work on DeviantArt under the name Utitus and be informed of information and content uploads on my Twitter page and my Patreon page. Donations are always welcome. Always remember, the world of Pokemon is a vast and varied place, and there's no telling what secrets might be hiding just around the corner. So keep watch, stay vigilant, and always prepare for the unexpected. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.